Okay, I'm making this video for one express purpose. This is a series of texts sent by somebody who I will simply refer to as Bonnie, from her to me. And what has happened is Bonnie has promised to basically smear my name through the mud. So I took a lot of time to think about this and, am I going to leave it alone or not? And I decided that I would make this video to send to a few choice people so they can make their own mind up as to if what Bonnie is saying about me is true. And if I lose friends out of this and whatnot, then, at least I've had my chance to put my side of the story out there, because I will not be going anywhere near Bonnie's, where Bonnie is. Most things go down that is discussed here go down at her house. I will not be anywhere near Bonnie's place after this. And unlikely that I will have a lot of opportunities to tell my piece. And tell my side of the story. So, some of the stuff that Bonnie talks about, that she accuses me of, is true. Some of the things that she talks about are exaggerations, and some of the things she talks about are bold-faced lies. So I will read everything she has said. I'm assuming that everything she has said to me in these text messages will be repeated out, and probably more things as well. So I don't want this video to be too long, but long story short, Bonnie is the sort of person that will tell you something and insist that you're under a vow of secrecy, but when she goes under a promise of secrecy, she does not feel that she is bound to the same rules. And we've all encountered this person in life. When I confronted her on that, when she did that, she basically blew it off and said, in not so many words, that it's okay when she does it. Wasn't said like that, but it's not important. I confronted her another time when she had hoodwinked me, metaphorically speaking, putting me in a situation where my whereabouts, in the purpose of my whereabouts, was being manipulated without my knowledge as to why. Whereas if she had had any honor and integrity in this regard, she would have simply told me what she thought I should do, and I would have been very easy to reason with. But even if she doesn't think that I would have been, it is not her place to trick me into going somewhere else for the sake of another person. And when I confronted her on that, all hell broke loose. Shit that hit the fan. And Bonnie has a big ego, and she's very good at pointing out the shortcomings of other people, but is not very good at recognizing the shortcomings of herself. And she's not fond of being told that she's wrong. So, shit hit the fan, and here comes the text. So, I'm going to get right into it. Bonnie sends me the text with the words, "How dare you go off on me last night and question my trust and friendship?" Well, I already explained why I questioned it. "When it is you who have broken my trust several times and have lied to me, to my former girlfriend, and to her boyfriend repeatedly, as you play us and use us for your demise games and addictions." Okay, I was never accused of lying, playing anybody, or anything like that until I confronted her for lying. And the nature of that lie was a broken promise. Before that, I was never accused of any such thing. You know how it is. You confront somebody for a crime, and they will then say, "Nuh-uh, you did it." Okay? It's that old thing. "I've caught you numerous of times since May and worse, from July to now, upstairs in rooms you weren't allowed, sneaking around just like somebody we used to know, looking through my home for my shit, or in somebody in so-and-so's bedroom who has occasional room at her house, bathroom, looking for her shit." That is a lie. A bold-faced lie, in regards to the fact that I was never looking through anybody's anything. Bonnie has a couple extra rooms in her house, and the first time I slept there, and the second time I slept there, and I believe the third, she gave me the room that she is referring to that I wasn't supposed to be in, although at no point was ever I told that. I'd slept in there 3 times. At another point, I was doing Bonnie a favor and doing some laundry for her, and I asked where I should go and fold them, and she told me to fold the laundry in this room. She's also a cat lady, Bonnie is. And now there's 2 rooms with a bathroom in between. I kept accidentally letting a cat out of one of the rooms, and she told me at one point to let the cat in, I'm sorry, to leave through the bathroom and out the other room, the one that I'm apparently not supposed to be in. I had no reason to think that my presence in that room was not allowed, because I was specifically told to go through that room more than once. I was never told that I was never not allowed in there unless somebody was staying in there. So I never went through anything, and even if I were the kind of person to do that, Bonnie would have no way of knowing. And again, I hate to even approach that, because it almost opens up the possibility. But let me just be straightforward about this. I have never gone through anything in that room. Not a closet, not a drawer. Didn't even look under a bed. I've never opened anything. The only thing I've ever opened in that room was a medicine cabinet, and that was because I was told to go in there to get something. And that was once. Okay? You were staying here. You are as sneaky as person we used to know and a liar like her. No, I'm not, doll. This is projection, but, you know. Your ex-girlfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, third, second person, whatever, first, second person, had no right to let you stay here when we were in LA without my permission. Except, dollface, I had your permission. You were very clear about that I could come over there anytime that she wanted me to. So, she asked permission for her friend, whose name starts with an L, to be here, but not you. You were not allowed in my home when I'm not here because of your dishonesty. No. You specifically told me I could be in your home. You never accused me of any dishonesty until after I got in your face. And, you know, if you thought I was dishonest, if you genuinely thought I was dishonest, you would have confronted me before I confronted you. And, you know, whatever. You know you're full of crap. Especially not anymore after you lied to me about the cat room incident twice. Okay, so the cat room incident, Bonnie introduced me to a bad habit. It was an elixir, a very naughty one. I'm not going to say what it was, except she insists that it's not meth. That's all I'm going to say. She invited me to have some. She said she was going to leave it in this room, and that I was welcome to go up there and indulge as many times as I wanted. I went up there one time. Everything was in this little purse-like thing, and I put the little spoon back in, I put the naughty thing back in the bag, and I put it in a drawer. I went to bed about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours later, you know, and because the thing kept me up a while, and all of a sudden she comes in my room. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Things were not where they were supposed to be. I had put something back in the bag. It wasn't in the bag anymore, one little utensil, and just everything was where it shouldn't be. In fact, the actual thing was lost. Eventually it came up somewhere in the room or near the room. I don't remember. But suffice to say, it was not where I put it. It was really friggin' weird. I don't know what happened. I don't know if she intentionally moved it around so she could have leverage, that maybe Bonnie could have leverage against me by shuffling things around. That's definitely a possibility. I don't know if, you know, some other person snuck in there. I have no idea, but it wasn't me. All right. Even after I gave you a chance to come clean and be honest with me, you still lied to my face. No, doll. You tried to get a false confession out of me, either because you knew I was telling the truth, or you actually might have thought I was lying. I don't know. But I didn't lie to your face. You've lied to mine, but I've never lied to your face. I know you want me to have lied to you because that would make you feel better about yourself, but no. You must think I'm pretty dumb, and that showed. You do not value our friendship. I don't now, because there is none, but actually did at the time, yes. And you have no respect, honesty, integrity, or loyalty for me. I unfortunately, misguidedly had all of those things for you, doll. All of those things. but, it was all misplaced. Which comes with the territory of being a drug addict. Glass houses, doll. Glass houses. Am I a drug addict? To a certain degree, I think it depends on how you interpret it, but I think it's safe to say yes. I indulge in certain things a little too much. And, it is what it is. I don't think Bonnie is in no position to be talking to me about that. I made it clear to your ex-girlfriend you were not allowed in my home when we were in Jerome. Yes, you did. And you'd made it clear to me, too. That is my fucking right to say you are not allowed in my home. Here's the thing, Bonnie. I said that to you before you did, because I got mad at you not for barring me from your home, but for lying to me about the reason. And that's the other problem with you. You're so good at talking shit behind people's back, but you won't just look at somebody in their eye and say, I have a problem with you, and this is why. Oh, you had to wait for the right time. Doesn't give you a right to lie to me. Well, it gives you a right, but I have a right not to be around a liar like you. That's the thing. This whole thing, that was my fucking right to say you're not allowed in my home. No shit. I said that before you did. And if you want me to, if this goes further, I don't think it will, but if this goes further, I'd be glad to put I still have the phone call, the recorded phone call where I said, it's your right not to have me in your house. So you don't have to convince me of that, doll. This idea that I was kicking my feet saying, no, I'm allowed to come in your house whenever I want, is just stupid. Just get over it. No, it's anybody's right not to have somebody in their house when you're here or when you're not there. That wasn't my problem, and you know that wasn't my problem. Since the third week in September into mid-October, you stayed here practically 5 days a week. It was more like 3, but there was a lot at one point, yeah. And during that week of that time, prior to that, you ate so much of our food and pounded through polishing 12+ bottles of liquor. Fuck you. I did have quite a bit to drink, but it wasn't no friggin' 12 bottles. First of all, there were only 3 bottles of anything that I drank regularly. That was rum, that was gin, that was whiskey. Oh, and a little bit of vodka. Occasionally would have vodka too. I replaced all 4 of those. Well, I'm sorry, I replaced 3 of those 4 with bottles that were twice the size of their original content, and they weren't even full when I started dipping into them. The other 2 are amaretto. I replaced that on one occasion. And the other one was, friggin' Jägermeister. And I only had about 2 drinks out of that. That one I did not replace. So, I replaced what I drank. So, food, I'll own that I probably ate a little bit more food than I replaced. On the other hand, you told me that it didn't matter and it wasn't important on numerous occasions. Do not invite people to help themselves to your liquor cabinet or your food, only to use that as leverage whenever you get into a fight later on when you accuse that person of using too much. However, I replaced more liquor than I consumed. You're going to deny that, but, you don't back down. So, whatever. I recycled 6 bottles after your stays, but many of those were already nearly empty, long before I started hanging around there a lot, especially when you get into the tequila, which I've never touched. You had like 3 bottles of tequila. I think 2 of them were almost empty in the first place, and I have not drank your tequila. Okay? And found 7 more bottles on the counter empty with 1 shot left in. And again, I can't account for what other people do with your liquor, doll, but it wasn't that many with me. That explains your guilt about drinking our liquor. No, because I don't want to be a mooch. That's my guilt about drinking your liquor. So I replaced your booze, but I was guilty about it before I replaced it. Liquor that you swore to replace and did, but have only with 4 bottles of stuff we don't even drink. Well, first of all, your boyfriend drinks a lot of the stuff that I do. I replaced the whiskey too, but that was the same size as that bottle. So your boyfriend does drink a lot of the same stuff I do. He likes whiskey. I believe I've seen him drink rum. And those are the things, vodka, rum,